All right, another edition of Man 101, and what it comes down to, cleanup skills. Now, one of the things I hate is the second kind of falling of the leaves. Once the snow hits, knocks the last leaves off the tree, and then the spring you look around and you go, man, I spent all this time in the fall cleaning up and I still have all these leaves. Well, between the rocks drives me crazy a little bit, and you see with my vacuum attachment to my blower, I've been able to get it pretty good, pretty clean, but this is the issue. I hate all that little stuff in between the rocks, and because my vacuum section is so big, at the end, it has a tough time picking that stuff up. So here we go, another edition of Man 101. When you're a man, sometimes you have to improvise. I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean. Okay, here's some improv deals. Now first, guy code. I stole these rags from underneath my wife's cleaning closet. Do not tell her. Secondly, one of the things I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take this piece. Now, I've had a lot of different blowers over the years. I always keep pieces around the garage just in case I need to improvise. Now, here's what I'm gonna do. This obviously goes down to a tighter nozzle so that I can get in between the rocks. Now I'm going to cut it, make it a little bit bigger, but first thing is I want to be able to fit it inside the vacuum section. So I'm going to take my wife's rags and I'm going to wrap a couple around here to make that a tighter connection. Now, no dude in the world should be ever without duct tape. This is made by T-Rex tape. Love this stuff because there's almost nothing you can't fix around the house with duct tape. I mean, it's good for just about everything. So I want this to be pretty tight. And I'm leaving a little gap here just so I connect the rag to the plastic, okay? So I'm just gonna put this first one on there like that. I think I'm gonna need at least one more, so I'm gonna do another one of my wife's rags again. Come on, don't be that guy, all right? Don't be that guy that tells on your buddy. All right, here we go. So let me wrap that one, another piece of duct tape here. And one of the other things you want to do when you're wrapping something like this, just to keep it tight, is wrap it in the same direction. So I pulled the rag tight this way so that it's as tight as I can get it. Now I'm going to put the duct tape on the same way that I pulled the rag, and that will keep the rag much tighter on the nozzle here. So there we go there. Now I'm going to tape this down too. I just want to see, that's pretty good, right? That's a fairly decent connection there. So I might wrap one of these up here like this just to make it as tight as possible so I'm not losing any air flow or suction. And then, yeah, then I'm going to tape that down. Okay, that should be good. Now the other thing I want to do is I'm just going to cut this. Now again, this is just something been sitting in my garage for probably 6 years. Never needed it, but this is always something that's driven me crazy. So I'm going to go right to about here, just because this end right there, all those leaves and everything are going to get stuck in there. That's just too thin. So just enough to open it up, but give myself the ability to get between the tighter notches of the rocks. So you see what I got going on there now? I'll toss this. I will rake this in here so it's a pretty tight fit, which it is. Then I'll take more of my T-Rex tape. I'm going to crank this thing down so it's sitting in there nice and tight. About functionality. Okay, so now we got that raked together. You see that? All right, so now follow me over here because I'll show you, as I showed you earlier, the part that I was struggling with. All right, so come over here. Okay, so look at, I went hard with the vacuum in here. Get in there close. You see how none of it got picked up because the rocks are so tight. So let's see what happens. Not perfect, but a heck of a lot better than it was the first time, and I don't have to bend over and move a bunch of rocks. Man 101, you're welcome.